Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Chainlink, taking a look at that most recent price action on the 1 hour, 1 day, and 1 week timeframes, and giving my thoughts and opinions on where I think Link is essentially heading. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is down in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into today's video, kicking things off with that 1 hour time frame. Here we have Chainlink paired up with USDT. We're using the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 spot exchange, and yeah, we've got some interesting kind of stuff going on. So we do see ourselves with still this requirement for a move to the downside. I don't think we're finished with this just yet, even though we have seen a little bit of a move to the upside, over the last kind of 48 hours. Now, with this, we are still targeting out a little bit lower. We did move up a little bit higher than expected just here on this wick. So we can, of course, expect ourselves to change our low points just ever so slightly here. So I'm just going to pull this in. So the higher that we went up, the lower, actually not so low we have to go in this particular example. So in this example here, we're targeting out the $6.69 to the $6.91 area. Now, we can also see internally here that there's another three-wave structure emerging. So if we go ahead and take a look at that, and pull this over here, we can see that we end up with a little bit of an overlap between these two areas, and this gives us a bit more of a refined target range for Link on the short term. So we're talking about $6.67 to $6.85, right? And so let me just show you what that looks like with the lines drawn on, just so that it's not just a bunch of Fibonacci retracements. But here you can see our three-wave move there. That is actually a C-wave structure from a move over this side. So we have the A, the B, and then the C coming down. So as you can kind of see, we're nesting into this range. We'll see how this kind of maps out. But for the most part, our expectations are to move down to the $6.85 range. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the fibs off, and we'll see whether or not this plays out according to what we've kind of drawn here on the 1 hour time frame. Now, all of this is a part of a wave 4, which means there is still this fifth wave high expectation. And based on this, if we do see this low point coming in here at the $6.85, then we'll be able to target out actually, I'm going to just repurpose this one here. I'm just going to take this and we'll move it over. So basically, our fifth wave expectations do sit up here in this slightly higher range. And it will sit between the $8.64 and $9.28. Okay, so we have to come down first. We have to finish off our kind of low expectations down here, and then we're going to see this run upwards in the same way that we saw this really nice run earlier a few weeks back. And you can see here that this is the target range for this. Okay, so it's looking pretty good for Chainlink on the 1 hour time frame. Let's take this out into the daily time frame. Here we can see, we are looking for this move upwards, and it will probably be out into that kind of range as we were kind of discussing, but it is just going to be a final move to the upside that will complete off an ABC structure. So let me show you what that looks like, right? So here we can see the A, the B, and then we're going to push up into that final C wave, and it will truncate a little bit shorter based on its current pattern here of a 5-wave structure. So we have the idea of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5, right? And you can see here it'll basically finish off that C wave. So for the most part, that's kind of where that's going to end, in my opinion. And then we start to break on down. Now, you can see that if we were to close up here, and it's going to be the distinction between closing above the most recent swing high or not, because it can just wick there and be then just fall back down. If we do close up here, it will change our characterization from this bearish state of play into a bullish state of play up here. Not that it's happened yet, but that's what it would do if we were to close above the swing high of the A wave. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on that. That change of characterization sometimes can be a false flag, just like you see with this one over here, because it changed right back into bearish state of play. Okay, ultimately none of these are confirmed, so we are bearish structure from Smart Money Concepts on the daily, but it is not a confirmed structure, and you wouldn't get that confirmed until you close below that B wave structure. Okay, and that's where your B breaker structure would come on in. So looking at this, we are in the accumulation phase. This is something that I guess I kind of put something out on Twitter that a lot of people were a little bit confused with. So let's go ahead and take a look at our daily time frame, right? So we are still looking for weekly time frame. We are still looking for further to the downside on Chainlink, right? I'm targeting out $4 on the higher side and $1.73 on the low side. So, as you can see, it's pretty deep at times. Don't necessarily think we're going to go down that deep, but, I do expect a new bear market low to come on in here. The last one was in June of 2023. So I am still looking for a little bit deeper here on Chainlink in terms of price. But if we actually reflect on the price movements here, historically speaking, we take this into consideration, okay, and we apply, I think, where we're going to end up. I'm going to put it onto the $4 range, right, just to kind of give us a bit of an idea. In fact, we could also, if we really wanted to, be really conservative and put this down on the kind of the low end of 170. It gives us an idea as kind of where things are likely to go, right? And we can see in here some interesting kind of areas, right? And so what I was kind of doing and alluding to, I wonder if I can find, this, right? If I take all of these bar patterns here, and we were to say, okay, if we were to do something very similar, what does that look like? And we can see some interesting kind of areas here for Chainlink. And specifically, when we start drawing in the expectations of Elliott wave theory, you can start to say, okay, well, here's your expectations. I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit. And so you can kind of see the expectation would be 1 to the 1.236 at 262 to 857, right? But that's on the idea that we have a bear market low at $1.73, right? Which is no guarantee that that happens, because I don't think it's going to drop down that low. If it doesn't drop that low, then actually there's higher expectations to be had. And then the other areas of interest are going to be all around the 618 and the 786, right? And so I drew this on here as well, and we started to see some interesting things specifically with these kind of like bar patterns and kind of what's going on, right? So what we said is we can see that there was this accumulation phase right down here where we're currently kind of seeing a lot of kind of sideways trading activity. We'll then have this bull market from these bear market low points, and that will kind of rally on up into what the markup price would essentially be. This will kind of be between the 0.618 and the 786, in my opinion, between $38 and $89 on Chainlink. This is pretty much where I think a lot of the institutional players would be exiting out of the space, and that's where you see this initial pullback. And then there'll be one last surge where you get that blow off top, where you potentially hit those slightly higher numbers, right? And so this is basically an Elliott wave theory idea using the Fibonacci retracements, where you see there's an A wave in the previous bullish market, we have the B wave in our bearish market, and then we have this final move to the upside on the C wave structure. After this is complete, of course, there's another huge move to the downside, and that can completely crumble and can go down significantly lower from where you either thought it was before. There's no reason to think that it can just go down, to like $9-10 or whatever, and then have another move to the upside. Not under this particular structure, but you kind of get the idea here that if we were to mirror that of what's already happened, which is basically what Elliott wave theory tells us with an ABC structure, C wave mirroring that of the A wave, then we end up with the idea that we're going to find some interesting resistances around kind of $38 to $89 and an upper limit of around $262 to $857. And if you were to copy the kind of bar patterns, it kind of shows you how that kind of maps out as well. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it gives you a bit of an idea and a bit of an understanding as to how we kind of get there. But I think, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, then why not go ahead and check it out? Link is in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Until the next one, though, guys, have a fantastic day.